Gayle Saunders here with Braxton Howard, fourth and Jawn.com. It is just the biggest game that we've been waiting for forever. Now, Braxton, how are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling a little nervous, but
Okay.
I'm just excited for it to get here. I'm excited to just watch the game and hopefully the Eagles can get the W.
I mean, we're going against one of the best quarterbacks in the history of the NFL. Obviously, in the city of Philadelphia and around the country, Eagle fans are more confident than I mean, some are nervous, but I've seen a lot of confidence coming from Eagle fans. And I think it's mainly because the style of football we've been playing recently. But we do have to give respect to Tom Brady. Now, if you were Tom Brady and you were looking at the Eagles defense, where would you attack?
I would just target Gronk as much as I can. I mean, I think
Yeah,
he's a huge mismatch. I mean, everybody knows he's a huge mismatch. He's been injured a lot throughout his career, but when he's healthy, I mean, he puts the numbers up, and I think that you know we've talked about it all year. The secondary is kind of the weak spot of the Eagles, and I think I assume that they're going to man up, and manning Gronk up's a hard job. They'll
right.
probably double team him like most teams do, but he's still going to get his if you give him the targets. So I think that would be the one area that I would go for if I was New England.
Yeah, and I think the thing about Brady is he does a good job of recognizing defenses and recognizing the weak link. I mean, they already know the weak spot of our defense. It's not like he's got to be like, they know when someone's on the field, they're gonna either try and isolate that sore thumb and go to work. I mean, you look at Najee Good last week, and then Kyle Rudolph 2 weeks ago, and Kyle Rudolph got in that situation. You know, Case Keenum knew where to go. Tom Brady's same with him. I think they do a lot of movement with their alignments. A lot of motion. You know, but I think you really gotta, as a defense, you can't. You have to. You just have to rely on your defenders to do their job. You can't be scared of what Tom Brady might do. It's more like I'm going to trust my guys, and that's the thing. Like we've seen from Schwartz, he does he'll take he'll take the punches, and he'll just sit there and believe in his defense rather than switching up his style or his you know going back to southpaw or like he's going to stick there and take the punches until and die with his defense. But I really think games that the Patriots will probably look to are the Giants games where Eli Manning, with the quick release and the use of the rubber outs. If you guys remember that touchdown Sterling Shepard had, and they had the tight end cross, and they
Hmm.
meshed up together, and Sterling Shepard got free, took it to the house. Those are the kind of routes that you'll probably see. So I think they'll also look at our linebackers. Our linebackers haven't been all world in coverage. You look at Michael Kendricks, who's had problems covering running backs. You can go back to like the Detroit Lions, him versus what's his name? Detroit Lions running back, pass catching running back.
Uh,
Theo Riddick.
Theoretic,
Theo Riddick.
theoretic,
Um, you know, or Christian McCaffrey in the
yeah,
Panthers game. Those in the Patriots running backs, they're a versatile group,
yeah,
and they're all pretty good pass catchers. I mean, Gillisley's more of a ground and pound, but they do a lot of stuff. So I mean,
yeah.
look for the Patriots to attack that linebacker core, and then like you said, I agree with that wholeheartedly. Gronk, who they reported that it will be playing, we all knew he
Hmm.
was going to play.
Yeah.
Um, Now, if you were the Patriots defense and you're looking at the Eagles offense, what would you try to do to shake up Nick Foles?
I would probably just dial up creative blitzes. I would
Hmm.
definitely attack the Vitai's side of the line. I would definitely attack that side and basically just try and get to Foles, try and get him uncomfortable. But if the way Foles looked last week, or 2 weeks ago, stepping up into the pocket, he looked good. So hopefully he won't get that rattled. But I think that blitzing him and just dialing up creative blitzes is the way to throw him off his mark.
Bill Belichick is a really sound defensive coach. I mean, he's learned from the best of them, and I feel like he's gonna disguise some looks and make Nick Foles think twice. But I feel like you said, the way Nick Foles has been playing, I think the Eagles' use of the RPOs, run pass options, those are nice easy looks for Nick Foles to get to his read. It's they got to honor the run, and the Patriots are weak up the middle, so I feel like that interior area is where you can really take advantage of this New England defense. But if I'm gonna tax, I'm gonna try to make Nick Foles uncomfortable. So I mean, we're both hitting the nail on the head right there. Now, keys to victory. I mean, who like three players? Name me three players that you think need to step up in order for the Eagles to win.
I definitely think that Jay Ajayi. I know I've said it on multiple video chats, but I think that he is the key. Just what he can do in the screen game, what he
Mm-hmm.
can do on the ground against the Jaguars. Their three running backs, Leonard Fournette, Corey Grant, T.J. Yeldon, combined for 78 yards on 7 catches in the screen game. They were all
Right.
screens. That's 11 yards per screen. And
Yeah.
I think that they went away from that. And Corey Clement, he could also be somebody like that. I think that the running backs are going to be a huge key position group. And then the defensive line, I would probably say Brandon Graham. I think that the creative things that Schwartz does with him, I think that he really needs to step up, get to Brady, and I think that Alshon Jeffrey. I think a lot of people are saying that they can't, that the Eagles don't have a number one guy that because the whole thing is Belichick will take away your number one weapon. That's been it for years, and they're saying that the Eagles don't have a huge mismatch, and I think that Alshon Jeffrey could definitely be that mismatch.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, man. Like I said, with the RPOs and the ability to those backside slants, I think those things are open, dude. I mean, I really feel like you're gonna have to respect Jai.
Definitely. I mean,
So
I think that the just the run game and the screen game is going to be a huge key to victory. I think the defensive line, it's no secret now. The only way to get Brady off his mark is to get there, get pressure on him. I think that the defensive line needs to play huge because I mean if they aren't getting pressure, you're relying on the secondary and the linebackers to do it all, and that's just not going to happen on this team. And then again, I think one of the most important parts is the turnover margin. Foles has played extremely clean, and I think if you win that turnover margin, your chances increase to get a win.
if I'm gonna give you my three keys to victory, you definitely got to bring pressure. You look at all those Giants games. You look at where did those teams excel, and that was right in the interior pressure, get in Brady's face. I mean, even if you saw last week, the Jaguars brought pressure. I felt like, they almost had them. When you look at our defensive line up front, they bring the pressure. They bring the pressure for 4 quarters. You look at the Jaguars, they just ran out of gas. They didn't have the depth that we had, so I think that's going to be key. And my probably my second keys to victory is Foles not turning the ball over. Foles playing serviceable. And I really feel like he has this new level of confidence right now. Like that last game against the Vikings, uh, he showed me fight. I mean, he showed me that he showed me that he has something. I think what they did with the offense and building in the RPOs really made him feel comfortable. If if you want to try and bring somebody up from the box, they'll take advantage of that extra safety in the box, whether it be an All Pro, like the Vikings. Their safeties were sound, and they attacked him in the passing game. I think Zach Ertz will help Nick Foles in that area. And number three, I think the running backs will be key. We have a lot of running backs with versatile skill sets. I think they're going to be key. I really want them to ground and pound up the middle. I think that's where the Patriots are susceptible to the Eagles right there. There's I think the Eagles can take advantage of them in space and down the field with their running backs. I think Corey Clement, a guy who's been a utility guy. I mean, if they want to try and put it in Barner on passing situations and get downfield on these running backs and take advantage of them, that would be a key area to hit. But I really think those would be my top three. I mean, most importantly, pressure against Tom Brady.
I think one of the things that makes me so confident about the Eagles' chances in this game is, the defense they played last week. Minnesota's defense is much better across the board than New England's. They might not have a better play caller, but the talent there is just ridiculous. I mean, Foles did that on arguably behind Jacksonville. That's probably the second best secondary in the league all year.
Yeah.
And and just the pressure they bring, and if he can just use that formula that he used against the Vikings, they should be in good shape.
The whole storyline is Tom Brady versus the Philadelphia Eagles defense. That's all basically you hear, but nobody is talking about Nick Foles and this versatile offense. The Patriots defense. They faced a lot of teams that if you look at the Jaguars, they're kind of like built the tough running game. They can get vertical, but not it's not a finesse passing game. I feel like we have weapons that can get vertical. We have weapons that can hit you hard with the slants, beat you up over the middle. We have three tight ends that are super versatile, two that are athletic. Brent Selleck, who can catch as well as block with the best of them. I think they can get super creative. It's one of the most versatile teams that the Patriots have seen. They're 30th against the pass. So obviously, Belichick he'll scheme up something nice, but in Matt Patricia will scheme up something nice. But I feel like just as much as I think our defense is better than their defense as a whole. So I feel like if we can get a couple more opportunities for our offense, that could be the difference of the game right there. So your prediction, I'm not going to call you a homer for predicting that the Philadelphia Eagles are going to win this game, but what's your prediction on the game and your final thoughts?
I do think the Eagles win. I think that they end this long era of Brady Belichick going back to the Super Bowl. It's it's got to end at some point, and it's very close. I mean, Brady's obviously on the tail end of his career, so I do think the Eagles. I think they get the win. I'm going to go 23-17. In all the past Super Bowls, the two that the Patriots have lost, they have not scored over 20 points. And the Eagles, in this year's playoffs, they've only given up on average 8.5 points. I know it's just 2 games, but I can see a scenario where the Patriots don't get over 20 points, and I think the defense will bring it. I think the Eagles will win 23-17.
Okay, I got 28-20 Philadelphia Eagles win here. I feel like, at the end of the day, the the depth of this defensive line is going to be huge, and bringing pressure for for 4 quarters. And it's I just if you look at the matchups up front, our defensive line versus their offensive line, those guys aren't world beaters by no means. And you got to deal with Chris Long, who knows a lot of those moves. He knows that offensive line. He's like giving all the little notes to Fletcher Cox and Brandon Graham. I think, like I said, I don't think Brady's seen our kind of pressure,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what I'll drop it right there. Drop the mic. I don't think that Brady has seen our kind of pressure.
I don't know. I mean, I think he might have seen that pressure, but he hasn't seen it for 4 quarters. Just the depth of the defensive line it's ridiculous, and I completely agree. I think however the defensive line plays, if they play their best, the Eagles are going to leave with a win for sure.
Now, Braxton, where are you actually watching the Super Bowl?
I'll probably be watching it by myself, honestly.
By yourself.
Yeah, I think that's the way I'm going to go. I don't know, like I kind of want to watch around, but last week against the Vikings, I watched it in the study room in my dorm by myself. I'm kind of a mojo guy. I'm like, I'm going to wear the same exact thing. I'm going to go back there by myself, and we'll see what happens.
All right. Now, hypothetically, there's a parade of some sort. Would you come up to Philadelphia for said parade?
I would if I could, definitely. But, with classes and everything, probably won't be able to.
I don't hear that, man. I don't hear that. You're going to skip classes. You're going to get on the first flight or bus to Philly, and you're going to, party it up, man. Trying to get the next level thinking going on. Trying to envision this. Man, I'm going to be, we're having a big to-do down on Broad Street. It should be pretty dope. Expecting to take the party from inside the bar at the place I believe the name of it is Keen's. Take the party from inside outside Broad Street, and then let the tears run. And yeah. But I think that's all for us. We're getting all in our emotions right now. Any last words for the viewers out there?
Go Birds.
Go Birds. You heard it here first. That is Brackshot at Brackshot, Braxton Howard. I am Gayle Saunders at Eagle Sessions. And fly, Eagles fly.